Well, good morning in that, or afternoon, or even evening, depending on what part of the world you're in. Afternoon for me. It's your boy, SaleenDriver, me, bringing you episode 112 of Wednesday Afternoon Live with SaleenDriver, me. The longest running Wednesday afternoon live stream in all of YouTube that I know of. The show about nothing in particular. Let's see. Let me finish setting up my windows here. Ah, Battle Angels here. One of my mods. Good afternoon to you, my dear. And Matt's here. Good to see you, sir. Let's hope I don't end up with a phone interruption that requires me to shut the stream down early, like last week. Sorry about that, guys and gals. It happens. Let's see. Steve, how you doing, man? How you? Good to see you. Wait for maybe one or two more people to come in and say what's up. So what's going on out there in the wide world? Kind of a cruddy day here, kind of overcast and raining. Pizza Woman here, my number one troll killer. Yo, yo, yo. What's up? So I was out earlier today. I had to go do some things. Now, last week and weekend, I had a visit from my younger daughter. She came down from Tampa, and she had some car trouble. So we had turned her car in to get some service work done. She took my my Hyundai back to Tampa. And she's going to have it for all of this week and probably have it until she comes back down for Thanksgiving. So I'm relegated to driving my Saleen for however long I only have the one car. And I'm not complaining. I mean, that thing's a blast to drive. But I got caught in a rainstorm, which in the Saleen is very entertaining with that much horsepower on a wet road. Things can get very funny. So I hadn't driven the car in the rain forever. I turned the windshield wipers on, and I'm in traffic, and it goes one sweep on the driver's side windshield wiper, and the windshield wiper blade, the whole blade assembly just pops off and goes flying right off the car onto the pavement, and I'm still moving. Now, fortunately, I shut the thing off before the arm itself did any damage to the windshield. But luckily, nobody was behind me. I stopped the car in the rain, jump out, and found the windshield wiper blade lying there on the ground. And then I had to drive to the nearest parking lot about half a mile away with no windshield wipers in a driving rainstorm. So that was fun. Luckily, it was a brief storm. The storm eased up, and I managed to put the wiper back on the arm. But that's what you get when you don't drive a car very often in the rain, and you don't get to test things. So I was probably lucky that I didn't lose the wiper blade, or it wasn't so bad that I couldn't get to where I was going, and I could still see a little bit. But not good. Not good. Bulldog Will is here. Georgia Bulldogs. And Jerry Wells is here. What are my thoughts on Carolina Jackpot forsaking the Gamecocks? I didn't know that. Did he do that after the Florida game? I mean, I can imagine his frustration. I mean, look at it from his perspective. What's up, Hoagie? Well, look at it from Carolina Jackpot's frustration. The man lives and dies and drinks heavily by I don't know him very well. I don't watch his stuff very often. But he lives and dies by the success or failure of the Carolina Gamecocks. And let's look at it from the perspective of he had this highly touted quarterback come in through the transfer portal. He's going up against he's got a team that he thinks is pretty good. And he's going up against the Florida Gator team that is stuck with a first-year head coach, a lack of personnel, and quite frankly, doesn't seem to play a lot of defense. And his team proceeds to go out and get their asses handed to him by my Gators. The defense basically shuts them down. The only way they scored at all was on a trick play fake punt. Other than that, they didn't run the ball very well. They didn't pass the ball very well. They didn't move the ball. They never really threatened to score ever again. And Florida looked like they're playing some defense for the past game and a half, which is a miracle to me. That's got to be frustrating. I mean, this is a team that beat Florida 41-17, 40-17 last year, and could only score one time. I missed the point after, and only scored one time on a trick play on national TV. So, yeah, I guess I could see why he would be frustrated. But I don't believe that any real fan is going to forsake their team. I mean, I've been frustrated with Florida a whole bunch of times, and I never even thought once to forsake them. I mean, I've lived through several 4-win seasons recently, and a season where we had an offense good enough to contend for a national championship, coupled to a defense that couldn't stop a runny nose. So I often said the only way I would ever give up on the Gators is if they rehired Will Moostump. Fortunately, they never will. Let's see, a bunch of people commenting here. Are Hoagie and Pizza Woman going to go at it again? I guess so. Well, that'll be amusing. I'm doing all right, Hoagie. You know, living life. The Newt the Groot. Is that Nate the Great, or is that a Nate the Great troll account? Well, either way, Newt the Groot says the Wuhan Red Death got him. Okay. Albert Sancho's here. Good to see you. No, Hogue, I don't want to see Will Muschamp back in any capacity in Gainesville. I don't want to see him hired as a recruiter. I don't want to see him hired as a DC. I don't want to see him hired as a janitor. I don't want to see him hired as a beer hawker. I don't want to see him as a parking attendant. If he ever sets foot in Gainesville again, I'm going to become a UCF fan until he leaves. I've said that publicly before. Go look it up. I've said that multiple times. Oh, come on, PW and Hoagie, play nice. So that's it for the Moose Dump crap. I'll say the same thing goes for McElwain, Shark Humper. I never want to see those guys ever again. I don't want to see Dan Mullen ever again. I don't want to If he's on a channel that I'm watching, I'm turning the channel. I don't want to see him back in Gainesville. His presence in Gainesville, any of those guys' presence in Gainesville is completely unnecessary. Okay, Newt, whatever. If Newt is Nate and Nate is Newt, that's fine with me. Newt the Groot. Some weird shit going on out there. Let's see. I hope everyone's getting ready for the holiday season. Obviously, we know when Christmas is, it's the same day every year. Hanukkah actually starts on the 18th of December this year and runs through the day after Christmas. So I've got a little bit of time to do my holiday shopping. I don't. I mean, I got to buy stuff for my kids, obviously, and not kids anymore. Really, they're adults. They should be buying me gifts now. Not stupid shit. Not a mug shaped like Darth Vader. I mean, come on, man. Stop that. I want a good gift this year. Get something for my mom. I think she deserves it. She's had a really, really bad 2022. It's not been a lot of fun for my mom. So try and find her something nice. Oh, thanks, Rick. Appreciate that. And you even spelled Hanukkah right. Very good. Anyone who spells Hanukkah with a CH gets timed out. That's the rule here. Yeah, I can get behind that a bit, Jerry, but obviously, even though my kids are 20, well, she'll be 25 pretty soon and 21, they're still my kids. But considering that with my younger daughter, considering I'm paying about $4,000 for a new transmission, for a transmission rebuild and service and other services on her car, maybe that's her Hanukkah present. Put her car back together. You wouldn't think a transmission that's only about this big would be that expensive. And my mom is calling me. Of course she is. Hang on. Thank you. That was my mom. She was just asking me what do we want to do for dinner. Japanese food. Uncle Lou's here looking for a red wave. Well, I can make a crass remark about a red wave, but I don't want Battle Angel to be pissed off at me, so I'm just going to ignore that. I mean, that's low hanging fruit type of joke. So, Jerry, I'm sure that Chess gets to keep his government benefits. So if he has any, I'm sure he'll get to keep any, because once a government benefit is created, it's never destroyed. So, well, why would you be pissed, Battle Angel? Well, why don't you think about that for just a minute and then get back to me? I mean, if your boyfriend's looking for a red wave, you could probably help him with that, but maybe you don't want to make that public. I'm just saying. I mean, anyway. No, I don't think Asian hairdressers were to blame for anything politically. So, Florida man makes announcement. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't surprise it. Nothing in this world surprises me anymore. The only thing that would surprise me, Lou, is if you voted for the guy. That would surprise me. Anything less than that, I'm not going to be surprised about. Anyway, I'm sure you didn't come in here to talk about politics, Lou. It's not your forte anyway. Oh, let's see. What was I talking about? Oh, holiday. A holiday thing, yeah. Yeah, so I'm sort of in the holiday planning mode right now. I'm trying to think of what I'm going to do for the holiday as far as gift giving. And also, I'm doing Thanksgiving this year for between 6 and 8 people. We haven't fully figured that out yet, but I think it's probably going to be 6. So Thanksgiving is at my house this year. Got the turkey ready. And I get to go to my first car show in a year. Literally, the last car show I went to was a show that we do down here every year. It's called Ponies Under the Palms. It's a Ford power only show. It's mostly Mustangs, but anything with a Ford power plant can participate. Except they banned the electric Mustang SUV. They banned that. They don't want to cause a riot. That was the last car show I went to before my dad had fell ill, and then I couldn't go to shows anymore. So that show will be Sunday the 20th. This Sunday, I've got to prep my car for it. Looking forward to that. I might even try to live stream from it. Although I'll get copyright struck if I monetize it because of the music. Maybe I just won't monetize it then. Yeah, I'll lose out on a whole $2, right? But I'm looking forward to that. That show is always really, really good. So, and usually I'm only either the only Saleen there or one of 2 Saleens there. It depends on whether this guy Enrique shows up or not. His car is pretty cool, but it's sort of it's sort of a goofy looking car. It's really a strange color. Let's see. Rick Sanchez said something about Burnley. Bill Dog Will says he watches sports to avoid politics. I can understand that. Politics can be a disappointing subject to talk about. Yeah, Rick, I think there will be a GOP civil war. You have your popcorn for the Civil War in the GOP. I'm going to sit down with my popcorn and watch and figure out how the Marxist Democrat Party is going to get rid of Biden and how they're going to invent a way to get rid of him so that he doesn't run in 24. That should be fun. I know a lot of people are going to be sitting back and watching that. Jerry Wells, any chance I will hear from my sister? No chance. Let me put it this way, Jerry. If she didn't bother to contact anyone in our family, including both of her nieces, when my father died in September, I'd say that's a pretty big event in someone's life when your parent dies and you say nothing. You say nothing to the surviving parent. You say nothing to your sibling. You say nothing to your nieces. You just radio silence, dead air. So no, I don't think I will ever hear from my sister again. I hope I never hear from my sister again. I hope she's leading a very nice, miserable life in Portland, Maine, with her and her mangy little golden retriever, who's about 15 years old now. And when that dog dies, which will be a sad day, when that dog dies, the world is in trouble, because that's the only thing keeping the world safe is the sanity that dog provides to my idiot sister. When that dog dies, she's going to lose her friggin' mind, and the world, you think Vladimir Putin is bad. My sister is 10 times worse. Let's see. Uncle Lou, blah, blah, blah. Uncle Lou, blah, blah, blah. Nate, GOP stands for Grand Old Party. That's a nickname for the Republican Party, which is, I believe, the older of the two parties in terms of lineage. You can trace their lineage back a good while. So Grand Old Party, that's what it stands for. Hoagie, it is what it is. I mean, my sister disowned her family a long time ago, and we didn't expect it. Yeah, I'll drop the link in a second here, Will. Hoagie, my sister disowned her family a long time ago, and we don't anticipate her ever coming back into the fold. And quite frankly, I don't think anybody wants her. She's a ball. You guys think I can be negative, and I can be. She's worse than me. She's a ball of hatred. She doesn't like anything about the family that she's related to. And because she never had children, and honestly, I don't know whether it's because she couldn't have children or she chose not to have children. She's just a ball of misery because of it, and she treats everyone like garbage. So, no, it's not sad. It's pathetic, but it is what it is. Anyway, I'll drop the link there for you, Will, if you want to use it, or anybody else. Yeah, I'll agree with you, Lou. Both parties are old. A lot of old people in both parties, and not a lot of new ideas or original thinking going on in Washington, D.C. What's up, Newt?
Hey, what's up, Saleen? How you doing?
I'm all right.
That's good. I got the Wuhan virus, as you would say it.
Oh, I call it all kinds of things. Fauci flu, Chinese flu, Wuhan Red Death. You know, I think Lou originated the phrase "chopstick sick." I like that one too.
Yeah.
That may be one of my favorite ones. What's up, Will?
How you doing, Saleen?
That well.
How you doing, Nate? I'm doing great.
Actually, Rick, Kerry Lake lost to a bimbo, so that's what really is upsetting. But thank God I don't live in Arizona.
Wow.
Arizona.
Where there was cheating going on anyway, but nobody wants to talk about that.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about politics, and I
know.
I got a degree in politics.
I do not either.
Yeah, and plus I don't even watch politics at all, so I try to avoid them. So,
Michael,
but Will, I do have a question for you. Now that I see the avatar,
yeah.
You a Georgia boy. Where is the love of the Jets coming from?
Just raised my parents raised me a Jets fan. That's basically
for
it.
God's sake, hang on, my phone's ringing again. Be right back.
I don't want to talk about the NFL, which Saleen doesn't like.
Yeah.
Okay, what were we talking about? I have to make a. Y'all talk. I got to make a dinner reservation because my mom is not very good at doing online dinner reservations.
Yeah, you're good.
So you get to listen to my computer keyboard.
Yeah, you're good.
We were talking about why I'm a Jets fan. I've just been raised that way. I mean, it's not that bad.
Well,
no, I didn't say it was. I was just I mean, you're from Georgia as far as I know, and
yeah,
I was just wondering where that the fanage came from.
yeah.
I mean, people always ask me, why do I like Harvard so much? I never went to Harvard. I never even applied to Harvard. I never even had a chance at Harvard. And yet I'm a fan of Harvard football, and it's my father.
And
Avid, yeah.
And same as me. I'm not a Harvard fan, but I respect the school. The reason why I grew up as I won't say grew up because that was later. I grew up as a Nebraska fan because my mom was a Nebraska football fan at the time when I was little. So when I was what was it called? When I was so basically I was a fan of one team when I was little. Okay, this has been long ago, or when I was little. So when I found out that I heard my dad was from or raised in Michigan, the Wolverine side, that's why I found out and became a primary Michigan fan ever since, and then Nebraska fan secondary. But the Nebraska's not doing so good at all since. I even learned about the rivalry of Ohio State. I even learned about the rivalry about Michigan State. So with my dad, and Notre Dame, for example. Actually, both of my parents actually went to. There's actually a university in Omaha called University of Nebraska at Omaha. So it's basically like those universities that, for example, like universities of Alabama at Birmingham, like
Yeah.
that. But it's in Nebraska. So University of Nebraska at Omaha. So that's why I'm a hockey fan for them because they have popular hockey popular college hockey team here. So
In Michigan or Nebraska?
no, Omaha.
Okay, so
UNO for short.
Hang on a minute, guys.
Yeah.
Rick, no, I'm not frying a turkey. Oh, I think fried turkey is absolutely delicious. I don't have the courage to do one. There's about 15,000 things that can go wrong trying to fry a turkey.
Yeah.
And all of them would have happened to me. So I always do the turkey in the oven roasting bag thing, which every time I've done it, it's come out perfect. So
Yeah.
yeah.
What's the roasting thing? Like a toaster oven or what do you mean by roasting thing?
In the oven. You put it in the oven.
Well, I'm done.
Big, they have these. No, forget it. I remember when I worked at IBM in Atlanta. One of the guys that worked there. I mean, this was a great, good old boy. His name was Bob Wolk. I really miss that guy. He was he was a good old boy. He was. No sweet potato pie. But my mom is making sweet potatoes, but not as a pie. He got permission from management to do 2 fried turkeys for the crew out in the parking lot. Now, and it was a freshly laid down asphalt parking lot, and that becomes critical in a minute. He brought the whole rig. He brought to do 2 turkeys. One of them went down into the oil just fine. The other one he goofed, and it overflowed. And it hit that gas burner, the oil did, and just flames all over the place, all over the outside of the rig, the stand, everything was just covered in flaming oil. And he managed to put it out. But before he did, the entire asphalt area got soft and melted, and the rig dropped down into the asphalt and then solidified again when the asphalt cooled. So the that big kind of 4-legged frying rig got stuck in the asphalt, and he had to pull it out with his truck. Left a big old hole in the parking lot, and building manager was not amused. So, but the turkey was delicious.
Yeah.
But the building manager was pissed.
I bet.
I don't want to go on
No sweet potato pie for me or mine this year.
That's weird, but would you?
I don't even like sweet potatoes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Me either. French fries are better.
Yeah, I
I
guess
do
so.
not cook turkey in an air fryer. That's fake news. So shut up.
No, I said that. Yeah.
No,
Oh.
you said that.
Oh,
So lose carrying it on. I don't want to go on about the Jets, or else Saleen's gonna get a little pissed off because he hates the NFL.
No, I'm not. I brought it up.
I know, but you hate the NFL.
well, yeah.
Yes, I don't like the NFL, but I was just curious about
Yeah.
where the love of the Jets came from. If you want to talk about the Jets, go ahead. Huh?
We are playing the Patriots this upcoming Sunday.
Oh.
I don't know if the Patriots are in it. Honestly, and I know I can name the names of the people in the chat that think that I'm a liar, and I do watch the National Felons League and all that, but I don't. And I haven't for 8 years. Yeah. I don't know who's good anymore. I don't know who's good. I don't know who's not good. I don't know who's playing on what team.
Who's good?
We could tell you like 5 teams that are really good. So
the Buccaneers are good,
and not this year.
Well, they were good. They were good 2 years ago and last year.
because
Well, the only thing I know about the Bucks, because I'm in the Tampa area. I'm in Sarasota, which is close.
yeah.
We get
Yeah.
Tampa stations, and I know that the Bucks are 5-5, and they haven't looked so fucking good. But
No, Eden
I haven't
Patrick.
watched the game, so
Yeah,
I don't know.
And
And I know Brady's getting a divorce.
they already had one. I thought.
Did you watch Tim Tebow a lot when he was in the NFL?
Yeah, actually, that was about the time when right after what they did to Tebow was part of the reason I stopped watching, so that'd be around 2010 or 11.
Yeah, I forgot about not Tebow. I forgot what the reason why that Tebow left. But
Was it the Jets? Because I know he played for the Jets.
I know he played for the Broncos. I know he played for later in the years the Jaguars for 1 year.
He played for the. He was playing for the Eagles in a preseason game against the Jets about 7 years ago.
And
I know the Jags gave him a shot, but he didn't make it.
Yeah,
he was about to play baseball.
Yeah,
I think he stopped playing baseball now. I think he's doing.
He's doing.
I think he's doing commentary, and I think he went back to doing missionary work.
Yeah. I think I know. Well, he's doing like a charity still, like a children's charity with disability kids that with I forgot, but it's like some sort of prom that yearly.
Oh, he's been doing that forever.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
I always thought to myself that the NFL backed the wrong kneeler, but
yeah. Oh, I know what it's called. The Tim Tebow's Foundation, something like that, or something.
Yeah. But I don't think he plays baseball anymore.
No,
I don't think he does.
I think he was decent, but that's about it.
I mean, he got all the way up to AAA, so
that's good.
Yeah,
I mean,
Michael,
they don't let you go to AAA just because you have a sterling personality. I mean, you got to have some skills.
Michael, I wouldn't say the Patriots are doing good. They are doing good, actually.
Yeah.
Anybody in this division can win the division.
Patriots,
Jets, Bills, Dolphins. Oh, there goes Nate.
We
back.
We could. What happened?
You
now,
left.
why would Uncle Lou believe that? Why would you even think that I even like smoothies? I mean, where does that come from?
What is? What
were you saying, Nate?
I'm lagging my own language. That come from?
What were you saying, Nate?
What is wrong with him?
I was gonna say that. Would Saleen or both of you rather drink shakes or smoothies?
Shakes.
Actually, neither. Not a big fan of either.
Well, if you had to pick one.
If I had to pick one, I'd pick a Coke Zero.
Okay, then. Yeah, fair enough. You need to try first. That's their motto, I think.
Oh, horse.
Tebow was on.
I'm not a geriatric yet, so give me a break.
Tebow was on the Patriots, like practice squad or whatever.
Well, preseason squad. He did preseason a few years ago, many years ago actually. Well, I think he was preseason quarterback for the Patriots.
Yeah, he was
back when Brady was still there, and I thought, maybe that could work. He could get on the squad, and Brady could coach him up, and Belichick could coach him up, and he could do something with that. But
yet, no,
he didn't make it.
The last team that he made the 53-man roster was the Jets.
Oh, I thought
no, it was the Jets.
Well,
it was the Jet. No, it was the Jets.
Yeah, it was the Jets.
2012.
He was there for one season.
Yeah.
And that was the last time he made the full roster. And then he tried with the Patriots. He didn't make it. And then I think he went off to play baseball, and then he tried with the Jags, and he didn't make it.
Well, I thought he played for the Broncos in a playoff.
Before he played for the Jets, he played for the Broncos. But I think the Jets.
Drafted by the Broncos.
We treated Tebow well. I don't think we treated him that bad.
No, I don't think it was treated that bad by any particular team.
Yeah.
I just think the NFL in general treated Tebow badly. And for the life of me, I can't figure out why.
Me either.
I can't figure out either.
And plus, I like the guy actually. That's what absolutely.
I mean, he kneeled and prayed on the sidelines.
There's nothing
And
wrong.
I guess that irked a lot of the lefties.
Well,
And,
Colin Kaepernick was when it really lit a fire into people.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I say the No Felons League backed the wrong kneeler. So,
Colin Kaepernick, yeah.
But I'm biased. I admit I'm biased. That's my opinion. I don't particularly like Kaepernick, and I think he's a below average quarterback, and he's absolutely a below average human being.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like a thing he stands for. I happen to like Tebow. I happen to like what he stands for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few things I'm not down with.
Yeah, and plus, actually, I missed the big hits. Well, I know there's some in NFL, but there's not a whole lot of big hits so far. Well, in the NFL anymore. I missed the 2000.
It's not that there's no big hits. It's just that the penalties have become too strict. Like the bullcrap roughing the passer calls. Those have become too strict.
I remember seeing a highlight where some long-haired blonde guy on the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, Matthews.
In successive weeks, like 3 or 4 times in the span of 2 weeks or 2 Sundays, he got hit with a bunch of roughing the passer penalties, and all he did was hit the quarterback in the gut and land on top of him. And even on one of them, he had his arms out like this, like I'm landing on you, but I'm not driving you into the ground. And he got hit with penalties. It's like, what are we doing here? Are we playing ballet or something? I mean,
it's if you hit him below the waistline, then that's where it becomes roughing the passer.
I got something in my back room that's not connected yet, but it says BNSF SD70 Mac. Now I happen to know that that's a type of train engine. BNSF is a railroad, sort of like CSX, but
that is
somewhere else.
That's the Seattle Mariners train horn.
Mac is like an over-the-road rail engine, but who the hell here would put their name like that? That makes no sense.
Yeah, the train horn on the BNSF was used by the Seattle Mariners.
Oh, Lou in the comments. I don't know if you knew this, Lou. I think Mike Boris, the number 90, the edge rusher from Michigan, I think he's hurt. Not for long, but he's probably gonna get back in a week, I think, hopefully. But I just wanted to let you know, Lou. So,
Battle Angel says her son brought his girlfriend home. Lol.
I wish.
So, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'm not sure yet.
What'd you say,
both.
Nate?
Nothing.
You said something. I wish what?
I wish I had a GF.
I wish so. I wish I had one too.
Oh, Jesus Christ! You both got plenty of time to go find girlfriends.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like 21 now.
I'm younger, so I have more time.
I'm almost 3 times your age, Nate. I don't have a girlfriend. Of course, I'm undateable, so.
You're like 4 times my age, Saleen.
That's true. I should just, but I do see myself having a wife in the future, but that's my prediction. But what do you think about the NHL? Well, I know you're a big NHL right now, fan right now, Saleen. What do you think about your Bruins right now? Are they like an up and down team, or are they?
No, the Bruins seem to be playing actually pretty well, considering they're not a very young team.
Yeah.
I think they just set a record for most number of home games won to start a season.
Yeah.
I think it's like 9 or 10 games in a row to start a season. And it's like,
Yeah.
I did not expect that out of the Bruins, considering how old they were.
Yeah.
And it's not a young team.
And
But I'm grateful for it because this is what good goaltending will do for a hockey team.
yeah.
When you had Tuukka Rask around for all those years, you had mediocre goaltending, and it showed.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have, I wish I remember their names, but I've watched games, and I've watched them both play, and they're young goaltenders, and they got good speed between the pipes, and they move well, and they're standing on their heads, stopping shots, and it's a good thing to watch.
Saleen, we have a Rangers fan here.
Here's the thing with the three
I
of
know
us.
that.
We're all rivals of each other. The Red Wings, the Rangers, and the Bruins and the Rangers. All rivals.
Yep.
Yeah,
Original six rivals.
definitely.
Yeah,
original
we all are original six.
But
teams.
I think we can all agree on one thing. We all hate the Montreal Canadiens.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I hate them.
But they do suck so far.
Well, I am a Rangers fan, Michael. The logo.
You know what made me happy last year? Seeing the Montreal Canadiens be the absolute worst team in the NHL. I mean, worse than even the expansion Seattle Krakens.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: the Kraken are better than the Arizona Coyotes.
All I care about is the fact that the Kraken were better than the Montreal Canadiens, who are hockey royalty.
The Coyotes.
Hey, Saleen, how you doing today, sir?
I'm okay.
You want to know something about the Coyotes? Go ahead, Michael.
Go ahead, Will. Finish your thought.
Okay, I was gonna say, you want to know something about the Coyotes? They're such a poverty NHL team that they can't even afford to pay rent in their own arena, and they got kicked out of their arena. Now they play in like a college hockey arena.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know what's keeping the Arizona. Are they Phoenix or Arizona?
They're Arizona.
Arizona.
I don't know what's keeping the Coyotes on the ice. I really don't. I mean,
Yeah,
they're not a good team. They're not popular. They never sell out. I've seen the crowds in that stadium be dominated by the visiting team more than
especially
the home
Rangers
team.
fans. Especially Rangers fans. Go to a Rangers Coyotes game at Gila River. Holy crap! It was more Rangers.
It's sad.
And Red Wings too.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was saying my team's in the original six team in the Blackhawks. So.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. The Blackhawks are not doing good right now.
No, I know. They're rebuilding, but hey, I was kind of hoping the Rangers would have made the Stanley Cup Finals last year instead of Tampa.
Yeah.
I still think Colorado would have won it though, but that's just me.
Yeah. Same here. I think Tampa Bay is done.
I was kind of hoping the Lightning would have been able to do a three-peat, but not meant to be in the end.
Hey, Saleen, speaking of the Lightning, do you think this is their last go-around?
I think the Lightning are getting a little bit old. I think their window is closing. But as long as they got Vasilevsky playing good, and as long as they have a decent number 2 goalie to give Vazzy a break,
yeah,
I think they can make another deep run into the playoffs.
Yeah. And what happened to most of their players too?
A lot of them got free agency, and
free agency.
I mean, because you have a salary cap now in the NHL.
That is true, but man, Stamkos needs some help.
If you can't afford to keep the players, they're going to go elsewhere.
Yeah,
Ballard's here. Good to see you, Ballard.
Ballard.
Hey, Will, I gotta ask you this: are you a fan of Jonathan Taves and Patrick Kane?
I think they're okay. I don't mind them. As a Rangers fan, I don't really hate the Blackhawks. If I was a Red Wings fan, I'd be like, I can't stand them. I want them out of. I want them.
Yeah, I think.
But
in my opinion, I think they will be with Chicago by the end. I think they'll be out of Chicago before the end of the season. I'd like to see maybe one of them go to with the Rangers so they have another chance of getting the cup. Because they got like 3 in 6 years.
Yeah, the Rangers are looking like to get a cup. I think we're on the road to getting a Stanley Cup. I'm seeing it.
I actually want this not because Columbus Blue Jackets is not rivals yet for Red Wings, but it could be.
No, Nate, it's always going to be Chicago, even though Detroit's in the East now.
I know, but I'm just saying in general, it could be because if you think about it, wait, you said Columbus in the West?
No, Detroit's in the East now.
Yeah, that's what I was just trying to say because Columbus.
Hey guys, don't forget to click the thumbs up button.
Oh yeah,
help me out here. Get me to double digits on the thumbs up.
I thought Columbus was in the Metropolitan.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Do you ever get over to Gwinnett? Go watch the Gladiators?
Oh, I do. Yeah, I here's the thing with the Gladiators. They're affiliated with the Arizona Coyotes. The thing with the Coyotes is that when the Thrashers were when they left Atlanta, it was between the Coyotes and the Thrashers to who was leaving, and they picked the Thrashers.
Yeah.
Well,
bad mistake.
Well, you think that's
I remember when I lived in Atlanta, we used to go see the Atlanta Knights of the IHL.
Yeah, and plus actually, for 1 year, I think Omaha had a 1 year AHL team for the Flames. If you didn't know that.
What were you gonna ask me, Michael?
No, I was thinking the Thrashers. I don't know why I was thinking Nashville. Atlanta's the Thrashers, right?
Yeah, we were the Thrashers.
Nashville had a hockey team for a while in the
2000s.
In the ECHL, was called the Nashville Knights.
Oh
yeah.
Now they got the Predators.
Yeah.
The Nashville Knights left when the Predators came in, and the Atlanta Knights left. They went up to Quebec when the Thrashers came in.
Yeah.
And then the Knights became the Quebec Raphaels, which is
I thought the Ramparts.
And then that team sort of fizzled and died because for some reason Quebec can't really seem to support a hockey team.
I feel like they deserve a second chance.
Well, yeah, and
Quebec might, but Atlanta should never get another hockey team.
Hey, Saleen, isn't that where Colorado came from? With Quebec?
Yes.
Yeah, Quebec Nordiques.
I thought so.
Colorado's actually they're actually on their second NHL team. They had a team called the Colorado Rockies. They became the New Jersey Devils.
Yep, right. And then I think Atlanta back in the...
That was a WHL.
Yeah.
What, the Colorado Rockies? No.
Yeah. It wasn't an NHL team. That was back when Gretzky was playing in WHL because he was with the. I think he was either the Racers or the Checkers.
Let me look that up. Hang on.
With Pizza Women, the Predators did not win the Stanley.
That's a good question. I'm sure.
Pizza Women, the Predators did not win the Stanley Cup.
They almost did, but they blew it.
They almost did, but the Penguins.
Yeah, they should beat Pittsburgh.
They should have won.
Yeah.
It would seem reasonable because the closest NHL team to me is the Nashville Predators for me to root for the Predators, but I'm a fan of New York and Atlanta teams.
Hey, Will, aren't you closer to Carolina?
No, I'm closer to Nashville.
Oh, so you're closer to state line then? Okay, I thought you might have been closer to the Carolina side.
No, I'm closer to I live in Georgia, so I'm closer to Nashville than I am to Raleigh.
I'm closer to Chicago, but I'm a Detroit fan though.
Yeah.
You go to United Center, watch the Blackhawks play the Red Wings.
Oh, well, actually, that could be a good game. Wait, I think the winter. I actually missed the Winter Classics games, but I think the next one will be 2023. I think.
Wait, they're not having one this year?
No, they're having one.
Will was right. That's weird. Will was right. The Kansas City Scouts, 74-78, was an NHL team. They became the Colorado Rockies in 74, 76. 76 to 82, they were the Colorado Rockies, and then they moved to Jersey and became the Devils. So you were right. I was wrong.
Hey, Saleen, can you see why they're not doing the Winter Classic this year?
Huh?
Why aren't they doing the NHL Winter Classic this year?
Aren't they?
Yeah, well,
I thought they was. I thought they did it 2 times a year.
Well,
once before Christmas and once after Christmas.
Let me look. Hang on.
I don't think they've done it.
No, well, they already had one in 2022, but that was back
last season.
Early in the year. But the next Winter Classic is in 2023 on January 2nd in Boston. Penguins versus Bruins. And I hope somebody boards Cindy Crybaby and breaks his kneecap.
I second the motion.
I hate Cindy Crybaby. I can't stand him.
I will say this. I will say this. I liked it when they did the Stadium Series where the Rangers played the Devils and then they played the Islanders. They beat them both at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
And plus,
Stadium Series.
My favorite one, I know it's kind of biased, but my favorite one was the Detroit and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Nice.
Nice one.
Toronto Maple Leafs and Detroit Red Wings at the Big House. That was a good one.
Oh, that was fun. I had an opportunity to go to that game, Nate, but I couldn't go.
Oh. Well, did you watch it on TV?
Yeah, I had a friend of mine ended up going. They said it was a blast. But no, I got to see him. I think it was at Wrigley when the Hawks played a couple of years ago. But I wish PK Subban was with Boston and just Crosby did to him during the Stanley Cup a couple of years ago. Except this time Raymond said it the board head first.
But the reason I say Columbus and Detroit because they haven't played each other in the Winter Class before, I would like the Columbus Blue Jackets to host it at the Shoe.
At the where?
Or the House Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
No, what needs to happen is they need to do a hockey game, a Winter Classic at Bristol Motor Speedway just to make Uncle Lou's head explode.
How about the game this past season between the Flyers and the Bruins? It was like that lake, whatever that game was. It was like a game by a lake. I'm not sure what lake it was, but when the Flyers scored their first goal, they accidentally played the recording of the Bruins goal horn for like a second, and then they turned on the Flyers goal horn. It was like
nice.
It was like zzz, and then.
Hey, Will, when that's a Winter Classic last year?
Yeah, exactly.
This past season, I thought so. I think that was up by Lake Superior. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Hey, Lou. A lot of people care about hockey than not as much as football, but there's a such thing as sport as hockey. So just one less.
Oh, I can ask you this. Hey, what do you guys call them? Do you call them sweaters or do you call them jerseys?
I call them
jerseys. I've heard them called both. I when I think sweater, I think knitted wool. So I call them hockey jerseys.
Yeah,
I call them sweaters, even though they're jerseys, I still call them sweaters and stuff. So, hey, Will, do you collect jerseys, or you just try to go with the Rangers jerseys?
I just have one Rangers sweatshirt. I might as well pull it out. Actually, that's all I really have.
I got a bunch of hockey jerseys. Most of which I don't wear anymore. Obviously, I don't wear any anymore. I have one from the Charlestown Chiefs. I wonder how many people will get that reference.
I got it. Where'd you get it? Where was it? eBay?
No, actually, it was a hockey fan store up in Atlanta when I lived up there.
Let's go Rangers.
But I got a bunch of Bruins jerseys. I've got a bunch of Florida Everblades jerseys. That's a team that plays down in Fort Myers for the ECHL. I got some Lightning. I got a couple of Lightning jerseys.
Because I will say, go ahead,
Nate.
Well, actually, I was thinking about getting a GoPro to put on my helmet or something like that,
Nice.
or a cheap version of like a knockoff version of GoPro, and put on my helmet. Because I actually play hockey in the men's league, which you call a beer league.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice. What position?
Yeah.
Mostly winger, like left wing and right wing. But
slap shot?
Yeah, I do slap shots. Yeah.
Okay.
And plus, I have currently 2 active sticks. Ouch. I'm not gonna show you my slap shot holes because I already did. Show you that.
Wait a minute. UGA does not have a hockey team.
Okay, here's what it is. It's a club hockey team, Saleen, and they are a really good hockey team. I'm pretty sure Florida has one too.
Yeah, they do. I know that, but that surprised the hell out of me. It's like University of Florida has a club hockey team in Gainesville.
Oh, UGA has one. Alabama.
Here's my equipment.
Yeah.
Power.
Hey guys, click the thumbs up button for me, please. Come on, give me a couple more.
I'm gonna. Here's only one thing I hate about the Boston Bruins. There's only one thing. Everything else is fine. Yeah, one thing. It's one particular player on the Bruins that I cannot stand.
No.
I don't know why.
Let me guess. Marchand.
Oh God, I can't stand that guy.
I hate Brad Marchand.
I hate him with a
Brad
passion.
Marchand.
He's such a dirty player. Him and Tom Wilson are the dirtiest players in the NHL today.
Saleen, I can't remember the guy who was there. He was like 6,600 feet tall. And I can't remember his name.
Zdeno Chara.
Yes, I love watching him play. Did he retire last year?
Yeah,
or 2 years ago.
He was signed to a one-day contract by the Boston Bruins and retired as a Bruin.
He was so fun to watch, man. But I would not. You talk about an enforcer of all enforcers. I do not never want to cross that dude.
He's 6'9", 260, and he could skate and he could move. And God help you if you pissed him off. I remember watching him in a game against Montreal. Pacioretty.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a dirty player, Will? Let's talk about what's I forgot his first name. Pacioretty. That guy will hit you dirty and then go run away like a pussy. He hit Chara in a game in Montreal towards the end of the game. He hit him and then skated off the ice like a pussy. And right at the end of the game. And Chara remembered that. And then the next game in Boston, which was, there's actually about a 16-minute video of it on YouTube if you can find it. The Bruins won the game like 8-6, and it actually wasn't even that close.
Was it a playoff game?
That game was a bloodbath. I mean, literally blood on the ice all over the place. And Pacioretty got his ass waxed by Chara on at least 2 different occasions. He did a great imitation of a coward turtle.
There was a game between the Bruins and the Rangers where there were like a bunch of fights within like the span of like 1 minute. It was like a year ago or something. It was
now you got to remember though, I'm old. I am old. I admit it. You see, old. I was watching hockey before most. In fact, I know before anyone in this chat right now was born. I was watching.
Whoa, hey, Saleen, be careful. I'm only a couple years younger than you are, sir.
I was watching games. That might be true. I was watching games in the 70s with guys like with Orr and Espo and Cash.
Yep.
And guys like O'Reilly and
didn't wear helmets or nothing.
Guys that when they hit you, they would
You felt
rattle
it.
your teeth into the next century. They had brawls on the ice all the time. That's where the expression, I went to a fight and a hockey game, broke out.
Yep.
That was those were the days where you had bench clearing brawls almost on a weekly basis. And the referees didn't stand back and wait for everyone to get tired.
Bench clearing balls, you mean bench balls in the benches on both sides?
No. Everyone on both benches on the ice fighting each other.
Like a line brawl.
And there's been times where they would jump each other's benches too.
Every player on the bench, not a line brawl, a bench brawl. Everyone came off the bench on the ice, picked a partner, and commenced to pummeling.
Yeah, but haven't you seen your fair share when they jumped each other's benches and did the same thing?
Oh yeah, I saw plenty of those where they would jump into the opposing team's bench. I was watching on TV on that game where what's the guy's name? He's not a commentator. What's his name? He went up into the crowd at an away game. He went into the crowd and started fighting with the fans and beat one of the guys senseless with his shoe.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Wasn't there one time, if I'm not mistaken, and I can't think of it, Scotty, he used to coach, I can't think of his last name, Coach Detroit, Bowman. Wasn't him, and I think it's either, wasn't him and the Boston coach or Rangers coach got into a fight themselves as coaches?
Oh, yeah. I've seen coaches fight all the time. And Jerry Wells, it's funny you bring that up. Slapshot was the first R-rated movie I ever saw in my life, and I was 14.
I just watched Slapshot recently. I watched Slapshot.
I was just like, go ahead.
I just watched it recently.
I snuck in when I was 14, and you could never make a movie like Slapshot in today's environment.
I saw Slapshot just recently. It's awesome.
Well, how do you not crack? How often was you cracking up during the movie from laughing so hard?
I laughed a lot.
Do you got the DVD or did you just download it?
The Brothers were badass. I mean,
they were.
Describe the Hanson Brothers.
They not only would they be kicked out of the league today, they would be arrested.
Yeah. So what was your favorite part of the movie, Will?
When the Hansons came out.
Well, I know that, but
the first time the Hansons took the ice.
That's my favorite part, and that's the best part.
What are you guys doing? Putting on the foil, eh? You want some?
And what was the line he said to the official? The official was telling me, like, I'm watching you, and I can't remember which one it said.
I'm listening to the song.
If you are a hockey fan, you have to go find Slapshot and watch it. That's the way hockey used to look like. It's actually a lot of fun to watch. But
and then Paul Newman get into the mind of the goaltender there.
Your wife's
the Hanson.
I can't say that. I can't say it. I'll get booted. But
the Hansons.
That was funny.
Yeah, it was.
And the way the Hansons worked over that one guy in the corner, it was 3-on-1. They worked him over in the corner, and then when they left him and took the puck, the guy who was on the ice, he just kind of like keeled over real slow.
Yeah. Hey, Nate, when it comes to your stick, what do you use?
Pizza Woman, I highly recommend watching Slapshot, but just be prepared for nudity. Be prepared for really, really crass humor.
Language. And
definitely words that you cannot use now.
And violence.
Yeah.
CCMs? I use a CCM, Ribcore.
Nice.
Does anybody know who Tom Harris is?
Hey, Saleen, while we talking about the Hansons brothers, is that true that one of them died a couple years, or are they still all three of them here?
I honestly don't know.
Hanson brothers.
That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, that's
Saleen, I go by Creeping Death on YouTube. It puts my regular name on there. That's why.
Okay. I did not know that, sir.
That's all
Good
right.
to see
That's
you.
fine.
Good to see you.
Yeah,
You don't
sir,
look
you
like
too.
What's up,
Creeping
Creep?
Death.
But yeah,
Well, I was gonna
Just be
say.
careful if you're driving.
I was gonna. I was gonna
I am.
say.
Thank you. I'm good.
I was gonna
appreciate
say.
it.
I was gonna say. There's two brawls that involve the Bruins that I really like. It was one that was Thrashers Bruins and TD Garden. It was a line brawl between the Thrashers and the Bruins.
Yep, I
And
remember
then
that one.
yeah, 2010. And then the Bruins Rangers fight in the stands.
Yep.
Yeah. What game was that a few years ago? As soon as the puck dropped, everybody dropped the gloves and started fighting.
Who was it?
Yeah.
Was it the Rangers?
I can't remember if it was the Rangers, but it went like half a second after the puck dropped, everybody started fighting.
Rangers Capitals maybe?
Maybe.
I'm not really
I gotta
sure.
say this. How many times have you seen Patrick Waugh fights on goalie fights, Will, on YouTube?
Who fights
Oh,
goalies?
I remember.
Goalie fights.
Patrick Waugh in a few fights.
Yes.
You gotta remember Patrick Waugh was a kind of a freak when it came to a goaltender. He was about
Yep.
6'3". Most goaltenders are under 6 foot, but this Waugh is about 6'3". He's a big boy.
Yes,
Yeah,
he
I
is.
was a huge Thrashers fan back in the day, and I don't know if anybody noticed, but the Gladiators are actually having a Thrashers themed night.
Yes,
December
I heard.
16th. They're going to come out. Yeah, they're going to come out in all Thrasher jerseys. I wanted to try to make it up to Atlanta for that, but that's right close to Christmas, and so I got kids to buy Christmas for, so
That's
that might not
pretty
happen. But I'd love
cool.
to go. That'd be cool. I still got my
Hey,
jersey.
here's an idea. Hey, Creeping, here's an idea. Why not use that as an early Christmas present for your kids?
Yeah.
That would be good. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, because they haven't been to a
I
hockey
mean,
game since the
God
Cottonmouths
knows
in
that the
Columbus.
Gladiator tickets aren't going to be that expensive.
No, they're not expensive. They are not. It's a small
to go
arena,
to-
so it's not.
We used
Yeah.
to go to Columbus Cottonmouths games a lot in Columbus. I live in Southwest Georgia. We used to go see the Cottonmouths all the time. So
Did you ever go
they
see
would like that.
the Macon Whoopee?
No, I was a Cottonmouths fan, and Macon was our rival. So yeah, I remember that name. That was hilarious. But yeah, Macon.
No,
Macon
that's
and
an
Columbus had a
actual
rivalry.
team.
Yeah,
That was an
yeah.
actual
Yeah.
team name, Macon
Yeah,
Whoopee.
it was. I think it was a Toronto Maple Leafs affiliate for a while,
Yeah,
right?
but you know
Yeah.
who the head coach? The head coach of the Macon Whoopee was a guy named Paris, who was the former head coach of the Atlanta Knights.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember the Knights.
Yep.
I do remember them.
and he was a feisty son of a bitch too.
Well, I remember
gotta ask you this, Will and Saleen. Why is it hockey has some of the coolest jerseys they make, man? Some of the jerseys alternate are awesome.
Well,
I wish
I'll
I
tell
could
you
buy
what-
a whole bunch of.
I'll tell you one thing: the Bruins and the Rangers, when they played each other early on in the season, the Rangers threw out their old-fashioned jerseys with the Statue of Liberty on them. So yeah,
Yep.
they're really
that's
nice.
That's a good jersey.
But
Yeah.
the Bruins have one with a bear on it.
Yeah,
Yep.
I got to get one of those.
Mhm.
Also,
But
Slee-
I liked it when they, I don't know how long ago it was, but when they switched the uniforms, so the away jerseys became the home and the home away, and
Yeah.
now all the home games for the Bruins are there in the black shirts with the gold trim,
like
and
they
the
should
away
be.
jerseys are the white shirts with the gold and black.
Like they should be.
Yeah.
I thought a cool one I saw was the Minnesota Wild doing the old North Stars colors, the green and the
yeah.
white.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yep.
I thought it
Do
was
the
Hey,
Dallas
you see, I'm trying to
Stars do
figure
that?
out- Yeah, but hey, I'm trying to figure out. Did they have to get permission from Dallas to do that?
I was about to say
Yeah, I would imagine so. I wouldn't. Yeah,
Dallas.
I
yeah.
would. Yeah, I could see that.
Okay, Pizza, we'll be around for a little while.
So yeah,
See you, P-Dub.
There's almost nothing about hockey that I don't like. The only thing I don't like about hockey
it's
is
the fight.
is the instigator rule. I
Yep.
think the instigator rule ruined hockey.
That means
Yeah, the instigate.
Like if
You
I
can't
went
be
up
the
to you
third
and-
person, you
Yeah.
can't be the person that starts a fight,
Yeah,
Yep.
and you
have to
definitely can't be the third person in a fight.
that put Ty Domi in the box a lot, didn't it?
also
That
Yes,
put
it
Ty
is.
Domi into retirement.
Doesn't
Yeah.
doesn't
Hey,
doesn't the rule where you have to drop the gloves in order to start fighting piss you off?
You have to drop the gloves simultaneously.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, so I don't know. I haven't watched many games yet this year, but they still got it to where if you pull your person you're fighting's jersey over their head, the person that had their jersey put over their head, thrown out the game.
I don't know if they throw them out of the game anymore, but they do give them a penalty because you're supposed to have that fight strap secured.
A
I
period.
know a lot of players still don't like that strap because they think it constricts their movements.
Yep.
You get a
Hey,
period
Sunshine
misconduct.
James is here.
Get a period
And Watch
misconduct.
62 is here. Good to see you, my friend.
I will say this though, Saleen, have you ever got a chance to go watch the Stanley Cup final game in person?
No.
All right,
Didn't even-
y'all.
I hope you get
See
to
y'all. Have a
sometime
good evening.
because I was able to when Chicago beat Tampa back in 2015 when they shut them out in Game 6. That is an experience you need to get a chance. Just go to the Stanley Cup final game sometime. Not the
I've been
playoffs,
to-
just the finals.
I went to one game. It was the Islanders and the Sabres at freaking Barclays Center. I don't know. I couldn't like when they moved there.
Yeah.
It was a good game. They won in overtime, the Islanders. But as you know, I hate the New York Islanders.
Yeah.
I went to a bunch of Thrashers games when I lived up there.
Nice.
The tickets were still relatively inexpensive.
Mhm.
The
Because
Thrashers
we
were not
had
a
no
very
ex-
good team.
We had no. Well, 2006, 2007, we were good, but we had no attendance.
Well, here's my take on the whole Thrashers ordeal. Okay, they were what did them in was bad management. I think that was purely it.
Oh, that's
Atlanta
a
Spirit.
horrible one.
Screw Atlanta
Atlanta
Spirit,
Spirit.
man.
The attendance numbers were halfway decent for a Southern hockey team, and
Yeah.
so I think that when they had that Stanley Cup run or they won the division that one year, I think 07, and they went to
06,
the playoffs
07.
and got 06, 07. Yeah, they got swept by the Rangers in the first round.
Yes.
I mean, Phillips Arena, it was Phillips at the time. They were rocking. I mean, that place was nuts. When
Oh,
they
yeah.
went
Phillips
to the playoffs
Arena
that
was
year.
really a good place to watch hockey.
It was.
was.
And they had a lot of support, but I think that they were the redheaded stepchild of Atlanta Spirit. I think they bought them more for the Hawks, and the Thrashers would just kind of come along with it. But I think when the right ownership gets in there, and I don't think Atlanta will get another shot. I really don't. But if they did, and the right ownership comes in and really, puts the effort in, I think it could work. I really do.
Move the
Because I got to
Coyotes
tell
here.
you, Atlanta could support a hockey team. Because
That would be a good place for the Coyotes.
I was a season ticket holder for the Atlanta Knights for 4 years. And that team sold out a ton of games.
Oh,
and
yeah.
even won the Turner Cup one year.
What was the lady goaltender? Manon Rayum, I think, was there.
Yeah. She was the first. Yep.
She was only there the first year.
Yep. Back in the 90s. Or, well, I didn't end her career, but I remember when she played with Tampa back in 92. But, hey, Will, if you ever get a chance, man, you need to get up to the Garden to see a Rangers game in person, man.
Man, those tickets are expensive, but I have been to Madison Square Garden for a Hawks-Knicks game, so I'll say that.
Oh, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
Hey, Saleen, I'm going to go ahead and run, man. I just want to hop on here real quick. I'm at work right now, so I wanted to say hey real quick. So,
yeah.
Oh, thank
hey,
you, sir.
consider that doing that for your kid's Christmas present, creepy.
yeah, I will. I definitely will look into it. We might make the trip up there and go see it. My older one, I have 4, and my older 2 will probably like it, and they haven't been in a while. So, yeah, we might try to hit that up. That would be a pretty cool thing to do. So, we'll see.
All right, be safe, man.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it. Thanks, y'all. Thank you, Saleen. Appreciate the time, man.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for stopping by.
All right. Hey, Saleen, I got to ask you this. I know you didn't like Jim McElwain, but do you think he got an unfair shake in Florida?
What?
Do you think he got an unfair shake at Florida? McElwain?
Who? McElwain? No, I think he was a disaster.
Because did his first 2 years
he's a Midwestern guy. He's a Midwestern aw shucks coach with a laid back attitude, and he never deserved to be a coach in the SEC. And I'm sorry that we got him.
But didn't he take him to the SEC championship 2 of his first 3 years though, and win it once?
Yeah, he did. He did it. He did it with Moose Dump's defense.
The thing with
Okay.
Phillips Arena and the Thrashers is like back in 2006, whenever they scored and this thing went off, they erupted. So it really changed over the years. So
Kind of sound like the Blackhawks. Hey, what's the name of the? Is this State Farm Center? They're in Atlanta now, Will?
It's State Farm Arena, and it looks totally different than how it looked when it was Phillips. They totally remodeled it. Doesn't look like how it looked when the Thrashers were there.
Hey, Saleen, you remember the Omni?
Oh yeah,
Of course, the Flames.
Yeah,
lousy
I heard-
sound system, but not a bad place to watch.
I heard there was some. That was a great place to go for a hockey game.
Yeah, the
It
Flames.
was a good place for hockey. I mean, I watched the Knights play there for 4 years. The only problem with the Omni is by the time the late 90s rolled around, the Omni was pretty much it
Useless.
needed to be torn down.
Well,
And it was.
Yeah.
The Hawks are playing
Phillips
there.
Arena was built on, well, it was called Phillips, and I don't know what it's called now, but
State
Farm
Phillips
Arena.
Arena was built on the Omni site.
Yep. So where did they play this couple years? Right there. I think they played at Georgia Tech, didn't they? Well, they building it.
Who, the Hawks?
The Hawks played at Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
I think that's
The
right.
Thrashers
Came in
didn't
in
start playing until the stadium was built.
1999.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Speaking, I gotta ask you. Speaking of Chara, do you think he's a Hall of Famer?
Who?
Chara.
Oh, he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Not
Hands up. Hey, Slim, how you doing,
Slim?
sir?
Slim Shady.
I'm doing.
I'm doing.
Oh, we
And
can't hear
Hey.
you.
No, it'll the vibe.
Sorry.
The voice worries.
Yeah, it's a
There
little
we
better.
go.
Hey, I
I
gotta
will
ask
say
you
this about the Omni is like Celine, can I ask you this? Who do you think had more success? The Atlanta Flames or the Atlanta Thrashers?
I'd say overall the Thrashers probably
That's-
drew more money, but the Flames were more popular.
Because you know the Flames had more playoff appearances than the Thrashers. Thrashers only appeared once.
The Thrashers made more money because ticket prices and the glitz and everything of the arena. But in terms of popularity in Atlanta, I'd say the Flames were more popular.
Yeah.
See, the problem with Atlanta, and it's not really a problem per se,
There
but
we
the
go.
thing about Atlanta
Yeah.
is there's too much to do. I mean, you're talking about one of the biggest cities in the country. You've got a lot of options for your entertainment dollar, and the fact that you placed the arena in the middle of a combat zone. I got to tell you, whenever my wife, my then girlfriend, became my wife, and I went to a Knights game, and then we had to go into the parking deck to get to the car. It was scary coming from the car to the arena. Once you're in the arena, you're fine. But from the arena to the car and the car to the arena, I mean, you got homeless, you got you got the potential of somebody stepping out from behind a big car or a pillar. And thank God it didn't happen to either of us, but it did happen to people we knew from being season ticket holders and so on. Downtown Atlanta is not a safe place. It never was,
not.
and
It's
it
not.
certainly isn't now.
Oh, it
Anyone who
isn't.
went to the Slob Olympics, the first Slob Olympics, anyone who went to that one in downtown Atlanta. Now, some people will probably be more blasé than me, but
I felt very safe.
well, of course you did. You were probably packing.
Shit, I had 2 or 3 of them on me.
Okay. If anyone remembers the Slob Olympics, you remember what I was doing, I was always near Slim, Brett, or D4.
The
I
big guys.
never got far from those three guys. Why? They were all armed, and I wasn't. They were all twice my size, and I could hide behind them.
Hey, Saleen, now I was gonna ask you this. So, when you went to games there at the Omni and stuff like that, did you ever get to park in CNN Tower? Use your parking garages?
You had to.
I figure. I remember I went down there in '96 for when the Pacers was playing in Atlanta in the playoffs and stuff like that. And I mean, like, if you didn't have no business, well, was this early '80s, early to mid '80s when you talk about that? When you talk about the issues with the homeless people and stuff like that?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't in Atlanta in the 80s.
Because the reason I'm saying is because I remember going back to my car and stuff like that. There was a couple people that was like there, and next you know, here comes like two of like Atlanta SWAT team members like saying, "Hey, if you have no business, get out" and stuff like that. Because I guess there was like a whole bunch of homicides going on back then and stuff. When they was actually trying to get it cleaned up and stuff.
Hey, it's worse today.
They did. If they were trying to get it cleaned up, they didn't do a good job because when I was there in the early '90s, downtown Atlanta, parking deck, didn't matter where, was not a place that you wanted to be unless you knew what you were doing.
Mm-hmm.
and not for nothing. When your girlfriend is, and I'll pat myself on the back on this one. When your girlfriend is a 5'6", 125-pound blonde who is really, really pretty, and you're walking beside her in downtown Atlanta, your head's on a swivel because you think you're a target.
Mm-hmm.
And you know she is.
Yep.
So,
Well, I'm sure there actually was a time where downtown Atlanta was probably fine. I mean, go back 20 years. New York City was a lot safer than it is now.
Uh-huh.
But you had to have the right. I mean, Rudy Giuliani did clean up New York City pretty damn well.
wait a minute. Can you see that?
Yes.
It's a little blurry, but it's good.
Hey, that was my girlfriend.
Wow.
Now my ex-wife, unfortunately.
Okay.
That was what she looked like.
Wow.
Nice.
So you tell
Hey,
me,
Will.
you tell me, I was punching way above my weight class to be sure, but B,
Yeah.
you don't feel particularly comfortable, walking around certain places, with her, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying it is what it is.
Hey,
Well,
Will,
see,
they
that's
still
why
got the underground.
that's why you do like my wife, Saleen. She was packing too.
Yeah, well, couldn't convince her.
Go ahead, Michael.
I gotta ask you this, Will. Do they still got the underground down there?
The what? The railroad?
No, the underground. It used to be like a bunch of restaurants, clubs, stores, and stuff like that.
I think they do.
Celine probably remember that, don't you, Celine?
Remember what?
The underground.
Oh, I didn't go there.
Underground Atlanta.
That was not a good place to go.
There was a
Yeah,
few
yeah, they have it. They have it.
Yeah, because there was a few great restaurants and stuff there. But you are right, though. You had to pick and choose when you went, though.
Well,
That's in down.
I think, Celine, I also look at it differently than you because you also have to figure. I work in the most dangerous city in America. Memphis is the most violent city in the country.
True, but look at me. I was never a fighter. I was never,
Memphis is more dangerous than Nashville.
Yes.
By a long shot. Memphis, Chicago, and Detroit are always battling for 1, 2,
Detroit,
and 3.
yeah. Detroit and Chicago are. Whew.
I tell you this, though.
People don't think about Memphis too much because it doesn't have the population of the other two. Because Memphis is only like 700,000 people. But, I go into work pretty much if I'm at work before 3 a.m., every time I'm hearing gunshots. Every single time.
Jeez.
Hey, Slim, I wonder how many. I don't want to bring this up and stuff, but I wonder how many homicides they've had down there this year in Memphis.
A couple hundred.
Yeah, because he like Indianapolis is like in the top. Like they've already there's still like 6 weeks left in the year, and they're already pushing 300 homicides already.
Atlanta's got a ton of
Hey, what's up,
homicides
T
too.
Digits? Good to see you, sir. Sanchez, I'm sure there are a lot of people who willingly live in Memphis. Got
Wow.
great barbecue.
I searched
Yeah.
up most dangerous cities in the U.S. 2022. Number 1 is Monroe, Louisiana.
Is that by population, though?
I'm
Oh,
sure
what's that?
Memphis is up there.
What's that, Michael?
Oh, I mean, Monroe, Louisiana is like 50,000 people.
Yeah, but violent crimes in 2019, 2,969.1 per 100,000 people.
Oh yeah, they've
Mem-
definitely got a
Mem-
problem in Louisiana. There ain't no doubt about that.
Memphis is
No.
number Memphis is number 2.
So
But you
how's
also,
Baby doing?
I mean, talking about difference in the size of cities. I
Yeah.
mean, Monroe, Louisiana is in a whole other category altogether.
Yeah, I mean, number 10 is freaking Albany, Georgia. I'm like, what?
Dude, I used to go there all the time. I used to live about 30 miles from there.
Was it dangerous
I mean, I don't know.
when you were there?
I guess.
I
I
always
mean,
thought
when I was there, I
Nashville
was younger.
I always
Yeah.
thought Nashville would be a little more dangerous than Memphis, but then I looked it up, and I was surprised to find out that Memphis is the most dangerous city in Tennessee, anyway,
Yep.
and
That's
one
why
of the
most
most
people-
dangerous in the country.
Oh yeah.
For the life of me, I can't figure out why, but I don't live there.
Hey,
Gang
Slim
violence.
Dog.
That's all
Yep.
of it.
Say
Gang
what?
violence. It's that same way in Chicago, same way in Detroit. It's all gang violence.
Pardon me.
Atlanta too.
Yep. So how's diaper duty going for you, Slim?
Different verse, same as the first.
Yeah.
This ain't Slim's first rodeo.
Yeah.
No.
Shoot.
Jerry Wells says hippie city. I'm not sure what city he's referring to.
Yep.
And Jay Shipes always calling me NASCAR driver. I have no idea why. A Saleen Mustang is not likely to appear in NASCAR.
What Mustang is that they're using this year, or what have been using last few years?
They don't use the Mustang.
Yes, they do.
Well, they used it for Ford.
They
didn't used to.
NASCAR switched from the Taurus to the Mustang a couple of years ago.
Because
First,
now
they
I think
shows
they're-
how much- Shows how much I keep up with it. I thought they were still using the Taurus.
Nah, they gave up. You see, the thing is, Ford, the Ford brand, not the whole company, just the brand Ford. If you look at their lineup, they're moving away from cars in the Ford lineup. They moved the cars to Lincoln, and I think they got rid of Mercury.
Yeah.
And Ford is now making the Mustang and SUVs and trucks.
What's Chevy using Camaros?
Yeah, they're using ZL1 Camaros. And
Uh,
Toyota's still using the Camry, although I got to tell you, you look at the Toyota Camry they used for this year, and it's like, I'm really struggling to find a resemblance to a Camry. I really.
Celine,
Uh-huh.
I know you hate the NFL today, but were you a Patriots fan back then?
Yes,
Yes.
he was.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes, I
hate
was.
it.
Well, I'm originally from Boston, and I mean,
Makes
when
sense.
I was
Well,
watching
hey,
football, it was the Patriots
and-
I was watching.
In fairness, he was a Patriots fan before they became the evil empire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a
To me,
Patriots
they're
fan
still the
when-
evil
I was
empire.
a Patriots fan when Steve Grogan was playing.
Yeah. Celine was a Patriot fan with Victor Kaim. He's probably giving people free racers to go to games and stuff when they sucked.
Celine was
I'm
bitching
so
when they benched
disconnected.
Drew Bledsoe for Tom Brady.
I'm so disconnected from the National Felons League. I couldn't tell you a thing about them anymore.
Yeah.
Sanchez makes a good point. NASCAR, when they did the restrictor plates at Talladega and Daytona,
It
that
got
was hard to
viewership.
pick. That was hard to
Yeah.
take. Fortunately, they're not putting restrictor plates on any of the other tracks at the moment.
Yeah.
Um,
Go ahead, Saleen. Sorry
given
about
a
that,
shit-
sir.
I haven't given a shit about NASCAR since they banned the Hemi.
The only thing
that
matters.
was decades ago. What are you
All
talking
I
about?
like is the Atlanta
I know
Motor
it was.
Speedway. That's all I like is the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Atlanta Motor
Hey.
Speedway used to be a lot of fun before they repaved it because you never knew when your tires were gonna give out.
Yeah. Hey, Saleen. Like I was talking with a friend.
Celine, they
Go
banned the
ahead,
Mopar. They banned the Hemi before I was born. So
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
well, I was probably 3-4 years old when they banned the Hemi.
Yeah.
that was a nice way of saying I ain't never gave a shit about NASCAR. I've
Oh,
watched
I
one
understand.
race.
I
One
understand.
race I've watched from beginning to end, and the way that race ended, I was told to never watch a race again. Because the only race I've watched from beginning to end was the Daytona 500 where Earnhardt died.
No way, really?
That's the only race I've ever watched from beginning to end.
Oh no.
That was a hard race to take. I gotta admit.
Yep.
I was never an Earnhardt fan, but that really
You respected him. You respected him.
Everyone respected Earnhardt, even if you didn't like him. But if
Yep.
you watch the crash that killed Earnhardt, you sit there and you wonder, how in the hell did that happen? Because I watched that crash over and over, and it definitely doesn't even come close to top 20 of the worst crashes in NASCAR.
You know what's the
history.
weirdest? Remember the Tony's?
There was a crash at one racetrack where Michael Waltrip hit because they used to bring the cars in through a gate in the wall. There was a wall, the wall around the outside of the track, and there was a gate. And it's not there anymore. And Waltrip hit that gate that it popped open when he hit the wall. It popped the gate open and tore that car. I don't even want to say it tore it in half. I mean, it looked like the car.
I know
got
what you're talking about.
Shredder.
Yeah, you was wondering how he was lucky he was still alive. But the crash that I don't know is following me. You remember when Tony Stewart flipped during the Daytona 500 when Earnhardt died? I actually thought his crash, he actually died. Because to me, Earnhardt's crash wasn't that bad. Like I said,
I've seen cars go into the fence at Talladega and Daytona, get airborne, go into the fence along the front straight, and tear the fence out.
Yep.
And then the car lands back on the track and does 15 barrel rolls down and comes to rest in the infield, and the driver gets out. It's like,
yep. Huh? See, was that true though about Earnhardt? Because I think I either heard about it or read about it. When he was actually racing, he would actually take his safety belts off. He would unbuckle them.
He didn't take his safety belts off, but back in the day, back in 2001, the Hans device that they wear around their necks now, the head and neck restraint.
Yeah.
That was not mandatory. It was optional, and Earnhardt wasn't wearing a Hans when he died. So
yeah,
the impact broke his neck. That's what killed him. But the accident itself didn't look like it should have killed him, but it did. Yeah,
because that's like I was talking with a friend who's an IndyCar fan like me. He says, "How come they never raced in Daytona?" I keep telling him because if they was to race in Talladega or Daytona, the drivers would literally pass out from going too fast because of the banking and stuff.
Well, the Indy cars on that banking, the G-force probably would hurt them.
Saleen hates Kevin Harvick.
I'm not a fan of Kevin Harvick, but the fact that Harvick, I used to call him Hard Dick, but the fact that Harvick has sort of mellowed out and matured over the past few years, I don't hate him anymore. I just don't like him. I'm not a big fan of the way he conducted himself over his career, but it'll be sad to see him go. I think he's probably about 1 year from retiring.
He likes Kyle Busch.
I'm a Kyle Busch fan. I've been a Kyle Busch fan since 2007.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to be a Kyle Busch fan and a Ford Mustang driver and watch Kyle Busch driving a Chevy. That's
Yeah.
gonna
The
make
thing-
me, that's gonna make
The thing
me a
I'm trying to
bit
figure
nervous.
out with Kyle Busch, remember when he had his crash, a couple that broke his leg? How was that not a career Indy crash for him? Because
He
then
had
he
a
shattered
really,
both
really
legs.
good set of doctors.
Because then he shattered both of his legs.
He broke one foot and the other leg, and that's not a career-ending injury set of injuries per se. I mean, and by the way, hi BVD, how you doing, man? There was an accident years ago at Road America,
Which is a great track, by the way.
AJ Foyt was in an Indy car. And
Yep,
this
I
is back
remember.
when the Indy cars had the drivers more forward than they are now.
Yep.
And he was going down the front straight, and they go up a hill and come over the hill, and there's turn one right there.
Yep.
And his brakes failed, and he slid right off the track and into a wall. He never turned. The car never turned. He went right into the wall. The front end of that car shattered and exposed both his feet, and his feet were pivoted back on his ankles. I mean, it shattered both his feet, and he was driving again within about 2 months.
And you know what's weird? So my dad used to be his fiddler, and he was talking with the rest of the team. When that accident happened, they actually thought that both of his legs actually had to be amputated, as bad as it was. I mean, because
I've never unsubbed from you, as you know. I've been a sponsor of yours for about 18 months. I'm sorry, what did you say?
No, because my dad used to be AJ Foyt's fielder, and I can tell you some stories about that another time. But no, when he was talking with the rest of the team and stuff like that, when that happened, there was talk within the team that they thought both of his legs was going to have to be amputated because of the severity from the injuries.
I mean, the X-rays from AJ Foyt's lower legs after that, they had more screws in there and bolts in the legs than a Home Depot does.
That they did.
So Kyle Busch's injury in 2015 was, I mean, he went head on. If you watch a replay and you see Fox's telemetry of the car, he hit that wall head on at about 150 odd miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually climbed out of the car mostly.
Yeah, that's what's so surprising.
But then, I mean, obviously he couldn't walk anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, hell, I
and that was one of the
pole at 110 and walk out of it.
Yeah.
What?
So I hit a light pole and it was doing about 110, and I walked out of the car.
Damn, son.
Yeah, I was like 16.
Yeah, we need to, if you're not subbed up to BVD's channel, you need to sub him up so we can get him over 11,000. He's so close to 11,000 right now. You need to get him over the, and if you haven't seen the video yet of BVD taking his first steps in a good long while with his new artificial leg, watch that video. It will.
Oh, he got his. I thought he was supposed to be this week. He got it. He got it last week.
I got a couple days ago, but that video is inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that to sound corny because it does sound corny, but watching BVD taking his first steps on his new artificial leg, you know,
tearjerker.
BVD, man, you are a fighter. I don't give a shit what anyone says about you. You are a fighter and a hero in my book.
All right. Well, I gotta ask you, being that you mostly Knicks or Nets.
What?
No, I was asking Will, since he was a diehard New York sports fan, if he was a Knicks, Nets, or Yankees Mets fan.
I'm a fan of none of them.
Oh, all right.
I'm a Braves fan and I'm a Hawks fan. But if I were to pick, it would be the Knicks and the Yankees.
All right.
Because I hate the Mets as a Braves fan, and the Nets. Oh, fire truck! And the
Run,
Nets,
Will, run like he stole something.
It was an ambulance.
They're coming. They're after me.
All right.
But anyway,
There's an ambulance.
I don't really care. I don't really care much for the Nets. I mean, it's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that. It's Celine's favorite Mustang. Ought to send you a
Huh?
picture. Said it's your favorite Mustang. Ought to send you a picture.
Let me guess. It's going to be the electric Mustang.
Yeah.
I saw one of those. I was over at the post office yesterday, shipping a package, and I parked not next to, but across from one of those electric Mustangs. And the guy that owned it happened to be getting into the car just as I was getting into mine. And I pointed to mine and I said, Mustang. And I pointed to his and said, not a Mustang.
So I take it you're not.
We got pissed.
Well, that pony on it would disagree, sir. He has the same pony that you do.
No, he doesn't.
You're just not a fan of electric vehicles, are you, Saleen?
I can take them or leave them. I'm not going to buy one until I'm forced to. But an electric 4-door SUV is not a Mustang. It is not a Mustang. It is not a Mustang. It is not a Mustang. You can put lipstick on a pig, but you can't call it a woman.
Did you see that review of the new F-150 Lightning? They ain't fixing to be pushing electric vehicles on shit.
Did you see? Are you familiar with a YouTuber named a YouTube channel called Hoovie's Garage?
Yeah.
I love Hoovie's Garage. He did a video with trying to tow with that Lightning.
That's what I'm talking about. That thing won't tow a trailer. That thing won't tow a trailer 100 miles. Fucking piece of shit.
No, and it's an insult to the Ford Lightning name. I've seen Ford Lightnings. I've driven first generation and second generation Ford Lightnings. They're muscle trucks. They're not good for hauling anything except ass. To call this thing that thing a Lightning is like calling that SUV a Mustang. It's an insult.
Well, to call that thing a truck is an insult to trucks.
Well, it looks like a truck.
Yeah, but it can't haul like a truck.
No, it can't. But I'll give it this much. It looks like a truck.
Yeah, well, sticking feathers up your butt does not make you a chicken.
No, it does
Sanchez, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the damn truck has 1,500 foot-pounds of truck. It can't go 100 miles with a load. If you can't tow with an electric truck for more than 50, 60, 70 miles before you got to recharge it, it's useless.
Yep, and it takes about an hour to recharge it.
Yep.
I have a friend who is a car guy. He actually rebought his old Camaro in 73 from when he was in high school and built it up into a monster. He's got one of those T-Rex 3-wheelers, and he's got a Raptor pickup truck. But his wife didn't want a Range Rover anymore. She wanted a Tesla. So he bought her a Tesla. And he loves the damn thing. He's evangelicalizing about the damn thing. And he's always kidding me because one time we actually had sort of a race and I left his Camaro for dead with my Mustang. But
that's nice.
Did you hear about the Tesla? Did you hear about the Tesla that just killed 3 people?
Yep.
Yeah, it caught fire.
No.
But here's what.
No. It did. It might have caught fire, but no. He was trying to park the damn thing, and the autopilot took off on him, and he crashed into another vehicle doing 123 miles an hour.
Oh
yep. Pete was talking about it today.
But he said, my Tesla will leave your Saleen for dead. I said, yeah, I know. It has instant torque off the line, and mine doesn't. It's a meaningless race in a quarter mile. Here's what we do, Todd. His name is Todd. Here's what we do. We both top off our fuel. You top off your batteries. I'll top off my Mustang. North on I-75. First one to Atlanta wins. Here's the one rule.
Yep.
One rule. When you fill up, you have to fill up to 100%.
Okay.
And so do I. He wouldn't make it to Atlanta inside of 12 hours. I would already be in Atlanta in 7.5 to 8 hours, already checked
on your
in
way
my
back home.
hotel and had dinner.
Yep.
No race. I said, I'll
Yep.
bet you $1,000 I beat you to Atlanta. And here, I said, here's the check. He wouldn't take me up on it because he knows that an electric vehicle has inherent problems. And
Well,
believe
yeah.
it or not, his Tesla and my Saleen have about the same highway range, which is about 275, 300 miles. The difference is it'll take me 10 minutes to pull off the interstate, fill my tank, and get back on the interstate. He has to sit for 2 hours.
Well, even the environmentalists are kind of leaving the electric cars behind at this point because they can't win an argument about them in any way you break it down. Because those batteries aren't very environmental, either making them or disposing of them.
Exactly. Thank you.
And then when it comes to
can't
powering
dispose of
them,
those damn things.
when it comes to powering them, they're gonna have to reopen all these coal plants they shut down. Which one coal plant is worse than like 10,000 cars on the road as far
Yep.
as its carbon footprint?
And Sanchez is trolling here a little bit. I don't think much, but he's got the right idea with hydrogen. We should have been doing hydrogen fuel cells instead of electric.
Well,
Because
and
hydrogen
actually,
makes a hell of a lot more sense.
here's what I can't figure out. Why can't they find a way to make 3 alternators power these electric cars?
But hydrogen, I mean, what's the most common element in the universe? Hydrogen.
Well, that's
And
fine,
when you
but
burn hydrogen, what is the waste product? Water vapor.
and that's fine. But once again, how can they not figure out a way to charge these cars with alternators?
I don't know.
I mean, you can buy. I mean, if you get into like alternators, like heavy duty, and like really heavy duty, like competition style alternator, they make 400 amp alternators. You slap 3 of them bad boys on a damn Tesla, that sucker will never run out of juice.
I had to put 110 amp alternator on my Saleen, just to make sure I had plenty of juice to run the car and all the accessories.
Well, I mean, that's
You know
nothing. A Ford Excursion comes factory with a 220 amp alternator.
Yeah, you know what they put on you know what they put on as standard on a Terminator Cobra? A 75 amp alternator. Are you fucking kidding me? 75 amp alternator can't pull skin off a pudding. Come on, man.
I mean, that still doesn't do away with, you know, the environmental damage of mining all the lithium for these batteries, and then the chemical process of disposing of these batteries.
Not to mention, after you mine the lithium, which happens in Canada, you have to ship that overseas to be processed, and then ship it again to manufacture, and ship it again to build the car, and then ship it again to the dealership. I mean, and what do you think all that shipping is done with?
Right.
Fairy dust? It's done with diesel.
Well, and honestly, they need to take a page from the U.S. military and find a way to miniaturize this nuclear technology. Because I mean that's the most abundant that you can come up with.
Well, the problem with the nuclear thing is, unless they decide all of a sudden to open up, what's it called, Yucca Mountain or whatever in Nevada, and start moving all that waste into there like they were supposed to 10 years ago, you got a nuclear waste disposal problem. It's not getting any better.
Yeah, it's never going to happen anytime soon.
I love how all the environmental wackos are all hate nuclear power, and it happens to be the cleanest of all the ways we produce electricity.
Hey, Saleen, I gotta Saleen, I got to ask you this: which is more likely to happen? They reopen the Keystone Pipeline project, or you come out and get all that nuclear waste out and get it restored?
Well, the Keystone Pipeline will get reopened once you have somebody in office with some sense again.
I still don't understand why Democrats are against it. For
2024, once we elect some adults to run the country again, Keystone will get opened up. Dakota will get opened up. We'll start drilling our own energy again. And,
because it's really simple, Michael. All this, the reason gas prices are so high are intentional. It's all on purpose. None of it's by accident.
No,
exactly.
This is true. This is true. This is intentional destruction of the economy with a purpose behind it.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry if that sounds conspiratorial to anybody.
Well, I don't necessarily think it's intentionally trying to destroy the economy. I think they're just ideological and want to put oil companies out of business, like Biden said.
Well, think about it. I think it is intentional, Slim. Think about it. What's the quickest way to move people off of fossil fuel powered vehicles and into the electric vehicles that they worship so much?
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's intentional to do that. It's not intentional trying to crash the economy.
Well,
that's just a byproduct
if you make energy costs that high, you're going to crash the economy.
Well, like I said, it's just a byproduct of it.
Oh my! I gotta go.
See, you got 6 minutes left, Saleen.
I'm taking my mom out to dinner, so I gotta go.
Already?
Hey, Saleen, any chance you can do another live stream for the next week so we can pick up this conversation?
The only live stream I'm thinking of doing, and I'm thinking about putting a poll up on my community page. On Saturday at noon, I have 2 games: Florida Vandy, Harvard Yale. I'm going to live stream one of them, but I'm thinking, okay, do I live stream the Yale Harvard Yale game, which is one of the oldest rivalries in the country, and have my iPad sitting here watching the Florida Vandy game, so I can kind of mention that from time to time, or do I do the opposite?
No,
you got to do
live stream the Harvard Yale game. That's a more important game.
Both of them sound like they're going to be terribly boring games.
Harvard Yale is a rivalry. Florida Vandy.
Okay, it's still going to be terrible football to watch, and it's Vanderbilt. So,
how funny would it be if Vanderbilt beat Florida?
It's not happening.
I'm thinking Harvard Yale.
Yeah, do Harvard Yale.
Yeah. Hey, Will, but did you really think Vanderbilt? Will, did you really think Vanderbilt was going to beat Kentucky last week?
No. I didn't think Vanderbilt would win a game for the rest of the season.
I find it funny. People are pointing to that game and saying, "Oh, we told you Will Levis was an NFL quarterback."
Oh, yeah.
That's a stupid argument.
It's one game.
I mean, well, not even that. I mean, what did Josh Allen do in college to make everybody think he was going to be a great NFL quarterback? His skill set translates to the NFL, and so does Will Levis's.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I say. Hey, Slim, how's the baby doing?
She's doing.
Yeah,
Florida's only favored by 14 over Vandy.
She's a sleeper all night, Slim?
They'll cover it.
Not yet.
Yeah. Now, Harvard Yale doesn't have a line. The Vegas doesn't do a line on that.
They don't do it.
Well, no, they're D2. They don't do lines on D2 games.
Harvard is 6-3. Yale is 7-2. Yale is tied for first in the Ivy, and Harvard is tied for third in the Ivy. So the game potentially has the ability to decide who the Ivy League champion is. So,
and don't they show in the
I'll do the Harvard Yale game.
Don't the winner get a playoff spot in the FCS tournament?
No.
It's not.
Ivy doesn't participate in the FCS playoffs.
It's not. Okay. They're D1, but they're FCS. They're not D2.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 1AA, but they don't act like a 1AA conference.
Same difference.
They're kind of in a world to themselves, really.
Why,
Yep.
Jay? Because I think I heard Slim go shh. That's why.
Mm.
Huh?
Hey, Will. Speaking of driving, you got your license yet, sir?
Oh, I got it. I got it this past summer.
Nice. So your mom and dad let you drive to school, or you still
Exactly.
got to take the bus?
No, I drive to school.
Nice.
But guys, TikTok, man, I gotta
Slim,
go.
you got 2 minutes.
No, I gotta go now.
All right.
All right,
So
fine.
because it'll take me 2 minutes to wrap this up. So as far as streaming anytime during the end of the week, if I can find some time to do it, I will, but no promises. But
Yep, can't wait for your
I
next.
will do a live stream of the Harvard Yale game.
All right.
Can't wait for your next plus giveaway.
Good deal.
Well, I won't be
All right.
around for that live stream. I'll be at the Miami Clemson game.
Well, I
Good
hope you
luck.
have
Have fun,
fun.
Have fun, man. Have fun. I was supposed to go see the Syracuse Clemson game, but a friend of mine
Anybody who has
decided
to click the thumbs up on the way out, please do that for me on the way out. Just hit that thumbs up button. It only takes a second.
All right.
Well, have fun at Clemson, Miami, and Will, have fun watching them dogs stomp the crap out of the Putty Cats.
Yeah, the Kentucky. Yeah. We'll beat them good.
I don't think they'll give you any real problem.
No, Will Levis. We'll be fine. All right. You
Yeah, he'll
take
be
care.
fine. Thank you, sir. And thank you to everyone else for stopping by and hanging out with me for a couple hours. Episode 112 of the Wednesday afternoon live with SaleenDriver. That's me. Once again, proving to be the show about nothing in particular. Y'all have a good rest of the night. Have a good rest of the week. Like I said, I am going to live stream the Harvard Yale game, but I'll have the Florida Vandy game on another screen over here and mention it from time to time. So please stop by. I don't know if there's any important games on at noon. So feel free to stop by and hang out in the chat with me for a little while. It'll be fun. At least it will be for me. Hopefully it'll be fun for you guys too. But anyway, peace, or as Jesse says, peace and hair grease. See ya.